I got shot in the stomach trying to fight. I could have easily stopped the fight, but
I just have to turn that negative voice off and shift.
Believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna get anywhere. Make sure you have a vision.
Hey, it's Aaliyah Lachelle coming to you live from the TLC show. And y'all already know that we love bringing y'all conversations that inspire, educate, and uplift. And today is no different. Today, our guest is a woman who helps people rebuild their lives, find their purpose, and discover that recovery is possible. She's the executive director of the Center of Recovery and Wellness and Resources, an organization that's been providing life-changing support for individuals that's facing substance use, mental challenges in Houston, around the Houston area. So let's give a warm welcome to the one and only Dorothy West. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, I'm doing. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Okay.
Who is Miss Dorothy West?
Wow. Dorothy West is a innovative fighter. Just making new strategies and opportunities for people that are wanting to rebuild their lives. I'm a leader, and I would say a businesswoman, but I'm learning that. I'm learning that. So I lead with my heart, and so I got to find out a little bit more about business approaches.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what experiences in your life led you to pursue recovery?
I'm a person in recovery long term. It's been 22 years since I had a drink or a drug. So,
Congratulations.
well, thank you. I am so excited about it. And I stay excited about it because that's what drives my motivation to continue to do the work, because I didn't know what a bondage it was. So my life experience that dealt with breaking the stronghold of addiction on my life, I found out by going to school to become an LCDC, a licensed chemical dependency counselor, that I needed to know why I couldn't shake it, why I couldn't just have a better mind frame to just do better. And I had no idea that I was dealing with a disease. So once I got educated about the disease of alcoholism and drug addiction, it was just really important for me to share that information, because a lot of us think it's a moral issue, and therefore a lot of families suffer, not understanding what's going on with their loved ones that may be affected.
Yeah.
And so then we could support them as well by educating the family, because my family didn't understand, so even, experiencing their heartache and hurt, also propelled me to learn a little bit more in how to support not just the person that's suffering with the addiction, but how we can heal the family.
That's deep. So you just shedding the light, learning. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were some of the biggest lessons you learned early in your career?
Excuse me. Some of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my career is that I didn't know everything. It's like, in that I was capable of learning, because obviously addiction does take a toll on your confidence, your esteem, your disabilities that maybe once you were so sure of. And as you start rebuilding your life, you're not quite sure if you even damaged a lot of brain cells, if you could still process information, if you could still be patient enough with yourself to live again. And what does that look like? So, yeah.
Okay, so what skills and values have helped you become a successful leader?
Skills and values. Excuse me. Sometimes I'm thinking that has to take the shape of education. So from what I've learned in being a counselor, I'm a 16-year experienced counselor.
Okay.
So that taught me a lot. But I think the skills that I value the most is, I think it's innate. It was something that, you kind of find out that you are cut out for. And that skill was just the development of a compassionate, empathetic approach to working with people. Um, and it's not a way to sympathize with the situation, but it's a skill in order to empower and to motivate and encourage individuals to be the best version of themselves.
Okay, okay. So, what keeps you motivated during difficult times?
Ooh, I'm a woman of faith, okay? So, and that I can say is like 95% of my motivation, because I have a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, with all the learning that you do, you're not really always sure if if you can do it. So therefore, I lean into what is my purpose and what is my motivation for what I do. So looking at my face, so the other 5% is me, making sure that I am ready for the job, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Okay, okay. Is
Hmm.
it, do you have like a, do you got like a set routine that you do some
I
days, or
do.
what you be what you be doing?
I do. I try to first have my coffee in the morning.
Okay.
So that's, that was, like I said, when early recovery, coffee just seemed to be, just a nice comfort. And I used to smoke cigarettes. So I gave those up in 2011.
Okay.
But, when you think about how your routine changes, a lot of things that were overused, misused, things like coffee and nicotine and all that stuff. So over the years, my routine has changed to more healthier options in the morning, so I do some juicing, and I do prayer meditation,
Okay.
and I play with my puppies. I have 3 dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of, just, get the love from them and give them plenty of love before I go out the door. So that's pretty much it.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Hmm.
Okay, so what has been the most rewarding part of running a successful organization?
Oh, one of the most exciting and success indications of success is the ability to, or the opportunity, not ability, opportunity to watch others grow. Yeah, especially if they at one point in time came in for services and now they're actually working and thriving as an employee for the center.
Yes.
And not just that, but you get to watch them get their families back together. You get to watch them become healthier, watch them make better decisions for their family and themselves, watch them really get, I guess, this satisfaction and the gratification of working and helping others. And that brings them joy. So it's kind of contagious around there.
Just seeing all the lives that you done
Yes.
helped and changed.
Yeah.
You done motivated them through their journey. They probably
Yeah.
came in just thinking they probably was just gonna stay there or stay exactly where they was, and I was just like, look at you,
Yeah.
look at you. I
Yeah.
told you, you
That's
had it
right.
in you.
That's it.
I like that.
Hmm.
Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who needs recovery or prevention?
One thing I would share um, is make sure you're ready. Because even sometimes we're motivated by others to push us into change. And you end up feeling a little bit worse if you're not doing it for yourself. So, assess your own life to see what is going on with it. as far as why are you getting the results you're getting, and how can you be an active participant in your own change. Um, that's what I would say.
Okay, so just make sure you ready to do that recovery.
Yeah, because it takes work. It does take a decision, and from that point, it takes commitment and dedication to change. And if you're not serious, or if you're just not ready, you could be serious, you may just not be ready, then you may experience a few setbacks, which also drains your motivation for change. It's as if you start telling yourself you can't change because you weren't ready, or you're doing it for the wrong motives.
Yeah.
So when people really come in and just, I won't say just sick and tired of, life giving them what's been given them.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just really asking yourself, do I want to do something different? And it's a matter of just changing strategies. A lot of us beat ourselves up. Uh, so to keep from doing that, more so, just checking to see if you're willing to be committed to the change.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with youth, it may be a little bit different because parents may want them to get the help, right?
Yeah.
They're experiencing a lot of difficulty with their youth because of maybe, emotional, just the average childhood development,
Yeah.
and some parents may feel like they don't have a lot of uh, control or say so in the mental health of their youth because we got social media, we got all these other things that
Yeah.
our youth are leaning into,
Mm-hmm.
and parents like myself that may not be so savvy with social media
Yeah.
may not. We can look at the impact and how important it is to their lives, but the messaging, is it culturally appropriate for my family? For how I want to raise my kids. So sometimes there's so much conflict in what the youth want versus the parents wanting for them, that it's really a neat opportunity for us to lean into a recovery or a preventive supportive way to engage youth, to ask them questions that, can help them think for themselves about where they are in their life.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us more about the new chapter about offering services for youth.
Well, we were awarded a federal grant that it's the Strategic Prevention Framework Grant. And we've been dealing with adults for 16 years. So
Yeah.
I think my motivation to apply for that grant is because I started feeling like, what can we do to prevent substance use versus treating substance use? Um, and I guess I was leaning into that passion because in my journey, I was thinking if someone was there,
To
early
help me to
on.
stop me. I probably would have took
Yeah,
a different route.
I
Why be here after? You could be here before.
exactly. And then, perhaps we can keep our youth from suicide, and perhaps we could, prevent them from going into the criminal justice system.
Yes.
Perhaps we can, and it's all perhaps. But if you don't try, especially when you have been awarded, yes, it's their intention to support, our nation that way. But it's also, I believe, the responsibility. If you write for it and you're awarded, it's your responsibility to do what you said you're going to do.
Yeah.
And in my faith in my God, it it was just in my spirit to tell the whole story now and what happened to me, and to be able to share in the I won't say suffering. Some people aren't suffering, but some people are having difficult times
Mm-hmm.
making great decisions for themselves when they're young. And I had a peer group that, well, they always didn't lean into the right way of coping and doing things. And by being a person that was raised in the the CPS system,
Yeah.
in foster care. I do understand, some of the anger and some of the challenges you have emotionally when you are displaced out of your home, out of your family, and you are put in different homes. And everybody doesn't have that story, but I believe that there's so many challenges.
Yeah, it's like getting taken out of your comfort into uncomfortable
Yes,
situations back to back to back.
yeah, and it could be a lot of emotions that affect your future, and so those decisions you can either listen to your negative peer group or a positive peer group. So this is what we want to do, is create that positive peer group
Mm-hmm.
for our individuals that we work with, so they can have options.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still their choice, and but I believe if I had someone saying something different other than my negative peer group, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think of them as a negative peer group at
Yeah.
that time, but I was climbing out of the window smoking weed with them and drinking.
Yeah.
They didn't say let's go bowling or let's go play some ball, or but I was an athlete at that time too,
Mm-hmm.
so I was kind of like a chameleon. I would go to high school, I would go to school, and I'd be the good girl so I can play on the
Yeah.
basketball and volleyball team. And then at night I would hang with my peer group,
Okay.
right? So, all that caught up with me because, again, as to continued to drink and to use substances, eventually you lean more into that than you do in the good things that are
Yeah.
there for you. And no one knows you're suffering. I don't think anybody knew I was suffering because I had that chameleon thing. I was okay, and I showed that I was
Yeah.
okay by participating in things,
Mm-hmm.
but I was really suffering in
Just holding it
silence.
down,
Yeah.
smiling,
hmm
smiling through the pain.
Through the pain.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. Okay, so what does effective leadership means to you?
Effective leadership is creating more leaders.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, just straightforward.
Yeah. Creating more leaders. That's effective to me.
Okay, and what would you consider a leader? How would that look to you?
Well, a leader is someone that knows how to follow. And I
Okay.
always keep a mentor, always stay teachable, always question, and challenge and create and be innovative. There's so many creative, talented people that my job is to empower them to do and to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
And so if they step into those shoes, obviously they can't help but to lead because there's only them. They're their own person.
Mm-hmm.
If leadership is meant for them, then it will rise to the surface by their passion and
Yeah.
by their commitment to their trade or whatever they created, whatever they believe. They will get involved, and then people will see that. Oh, you know what you're doing, and how
Yeah.
can you help me do it? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What are some of the issues youth are facing today that concerns you the most?
Well, once again, I am a new executive director as of 3 years due to my late husband, Dylan West, who was the founder of the Center for Recovery and Wellness Resources. We worked together for 12 years before he passed. So he was the executive director and I was the program director.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed what I was doing, just making things flow and programs that really fed the soul,
Yeah.
empowered and encouraged. So when he passed, stepping into those shoes, I just wanted to make sure that I can do the job, and because again, I'm a person in recovery, so I'm still asking myself, valid questions for
Yeah.
myself. battling perhaps, some insecurities at times with learning new things. Can I run this company? Can I hold it together? Can I be, it wasn't can I be the leader? Because again, I've always had leadership capabilities. It's just stepping into it, and knowing that you're at the top of the food chain because it all comes down to you.
Like this is different now. These shoes a little bigger now.
So, still having my mentors and people that are around that I can learn from. So what keeps me up at night is really, if I'm addressing all that I need to address, and not in a panic, but in a way that is that's it's like building the plane while you fly it.
Okay.
Am I in control of this plane?
Okay.
We ain't in a nosedive yet.
Right. Okay. What are some misconceptions about addiction?
Oh, that it's a moral issue, first of all, and that you can just, tell someone to get over it. It's deeper than that. That you don't have to treat it. You do. You have to treat it. There's so many different ways, that you can treat it. That people can just stop when they want to. That's not true either. And that, they say a lot of times you hear in maybe 12-step rooms that, once an addict, always an addict, or once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Well, these things, if you're treating it, just like cancer or anything else, it can go into remission. You can have a productive life. But as you asked me earlier, about the things that I do in my daily routine, is my maintenance of, so it is a, I know I have the disease of alcoholism and addiction, but recovery is possible. And that's what I would, believe people need to know. It is possible to recover.
Okay. It's not really just how it looks on the outside.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So far, what differences have you noticed with adult versus youth?
Adults have more baggage, obviously. They have more trauma. And it's just from the difference of the years only, because youth have a lot of trauma and unexpected circumstances that they dealt with just being raised, before they even touch a drink or a drug. There's just family situations that make life hard. Yeah. So, I'm gonna read the question again.
So far, what differences have you noticed with adults versus youth?
Youth are more fun.
Yeah.
It's just making, well, it keeps, even for the adults, and like my daughter's 23. We kind of grew up together, because if I'm 22 years sober, she's 23. She says, I'm older than you.
Okay.
So it's almost like in maturity, we grew up together, learning how to deal with my emotional stability, knowing to talk to people. Adults seem to be more reserved, or maybe feel somewhat a little more hopeless because of the years of trying, and then the wreckage that they've seen over the years that the addiction has caused. Well, a youth may feel, the beginning of some of these traumas and failures, whether again kicked out of school constantly, maybe some situations at home. So they may be more reserved to talk about it, because again, just angry and just hating to be in that position. and don't understand why things are. You know, the older you get, you kind of like, well, life is life, right?
Yeah.
But our youth are just now experiencing multiple occasions of disappointment, and it gets overwhelming. And therefore, we have just a population that leans into not wanting to be here anymore. You know, their solution is not so calculated. Adults seem like, oh, it didn't kill me, it didn't hurt me. I've survived it. Some experiences youth have, they don't feel like, they can survive that.
Yeah.
That's just one of them. I'm sure there's many of them. But
back at it, another fire guest, another hot story. Baby, TLC is not letting up. You plan to engage you?
Well, when I wrote this grant, I was thinking of how we do bring supportive services to the adults. So I want to engage the youth, and we're fairly successful at that. Our engagement rate is high, over 80% of people that we walk with for over a year. That means they're coming back. We created a community that, it doesn't, you don't have to pull people through. They're wanting to participate. They want to be involved. Yes. And so for the youth, I thought that would be a great way to present prevention, is through a peer supportive opportunity for them to engage with youth their age that are trained and skilled on how to support individuals, because that's what I do. I train individuals in peer support to be able to assist those that have similar experiences. So we can just hold space for them, validate that we see them, hear them, feel them, and be able to just, offer those, as I said earlier, those other positive options when you feel like crap, that you can get involved with something and other people understand where you're at. So this grant allows us to engage the youth and be more innovative, listen to them, and let them create, and let them get, all their ideas out and how they can participate in building their own community.
Okay. So what does a successful youth look like to you?
Like you.
Hey, you better let them know.
Just doing what you're doing, perhaps just living your life and touching upon, just engaging activities and trying to figure it out, trying to navigate the emotions. I think that's so normal for us all, so one day you're up and one day you're not. So, I love,
get through it.
Yeah. So I love to see successful youth be real and open about where they are. And that doesn't mean it doesn't come with their own sets of troubles and but watching them navigate is awesome.
Okay, if a person in need is watching, what are some services your organization can offer?
Okay, so let's talk from the perspective of the prevention piece. So the prevention, we are establishing, because it is a new grant, so we're establishing a lot of policies to be able to engage the youth, but that also incorporates dealing with their parents. So, and we understand that some of the parents may need support too. Some of the issues with the youth, maybe they have a parent that's using. So our prevention services for youth can lead also to helping the family as a whole, in inviting the parents in the process versus excluding them and just working with, the youth. But the parents are really instrumental in their own healing process. So that we offer a lot of social integration, because because sometimes we isolate and withdraw when we are having our issues. And so we try to make sure all are welcome and included. So a lot of social integration. There is counseling, so we have a great counseling team that if you decide that you want to talk to a therapist, we definitely offer that with virtual options in case, people can't travel. Transportation is a barrier at times. So we do a lot of celebrating. We love to celebrate milestones and holidays, and we respect everybody's culture. So we're very diverse. So we get to learn about different cultures and what they like. And so it's a supportive environment. So there's, services that if you are wanting to deal with overdose prevention, we have trainings and education. We have recovery housing, in case those for adults at this time. I might look into something else for youth to house them in case home is not a safe place. But right now we do have recovery housing for adults. And we've been running recovery housing for 15 years now. So, and that's just really about creating that safe, sober environment that people can grow and flourish and start being accountable. And it is structured. That just means that there is a goal in mind. The structure is set to create the cohesiveness and the security of the home in itself, putting everybody on the same timeline somewhat until they decide either to go to work or whatever. So we have quite a bit of services, but the services that we do really comes from the cry of the community. So if we don't do it, there's no wrong door here. If you come in and find out that we don't do it, we're going to find the organization that does do it. And we have wonderful partners.
We're going to get you some help.
Yes, we're going to do it.
Either way.
Yeah, that's it.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Can you share a success story that reminds you why this work is so important?
Yeah, it's hard to, because there's just not one that comes to mind. I think I have a young man that has a great family, and but there's a lot. Their communication style is it's real volatile. It's they talk really harsh to each other, and he just found where he couldn't really talk to his mother, and that would leave him out on the street homeless, right? Because mom would put him out, or he would walk out, and it seemed to be a common thing. So and this young man just turned 19, so he was really ideal for the SPARK program. And SPARK does stand for Strategic Prevention Aligning Recovery Communities, because we are a recovery community now doing prevention. So we want to make sure those supportive services roll into that prevention. So what we did was, really step in and see what he wanted to do with his life. Was he ready? And now we did bring him into our recovery housing. And now I trained him as a recovery support specialist. So he is one that is now learning how to talk to his peers and being able to help him find his strength in his dreams, because he likes music and stuff. So he's really diving into his music now. He's kind of got more of a calmer spirit,
That's good.
His relationship with his mom has gotten better. So that's just really exciting for me to see.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know that's right. Okay. Thank you for partnering with TLC.
Yes,
of course.
thank you.
Tell us about other partners that you have helped grow.
Okay, so like I said, we have wonderful, wonderful partners, and one of them, our biggest partner, is City of Houston. City of Houston has been very gracious and very supportive when it comes down to, like they go in the schools and stuff. So they invite us to go in
Yeah.
the schools with them. So that was really cool. And then we have partners like our counseling team, that is one of our partners there. We have partners that have been doing prevention for quite a while. So they participate on our steering committee to help
Okay.
us
Okay.
and guide us through doing prevention and great work and in the community. Because again, this is something new for my staff to engage in, and we hired a whole new prevention team,
Yeah.
of youth coaches. So um, our partners have been great in referring some of these individuals. We got to um, work with Wheeler Baptist Church. I'm just throwing some names out there, but
Yeah.
I mean they're awesome, and they're really receptive to the healing of their community.
Mhm.
And then there is, I mean, I would be here all day listing all the partners that what they do,
Yeah, that's good
but
though.
we
That's
do,
great.
yeah, we do have a lot of
Like
great
you say,
partners.
y'all then built the whole community. I know
Yeah,
that's right.
that's right.
Looking back, what accomplishment are you most proud of?
Um, I would think one of the biggest accomplishments that I'm most proud of is um, just holding on, actually, because again, when my husband passed, I was thinking I was just going to close everything down. So what And I really don't know why. I think that was just part of the grief process because I was a counselor and I ran my own recovery home before
Yeah.
I met him. So I was totally reminded of my purpose and mission way before I gave you that man. So I was already, you know, of a heart for the community. So I just think one of my biggest accomplishments is growing the company to where it is today. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it takes strength, so most
Uh,
definitely, you should feel proud about that.
Thank you so
After
much.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's upcoming that people can look forward to?
Well, we have some great partnerships coming up with a new recovery high school, and that's called Resiliency Leadership Academy. And we there are three recovery high schools, I believe, in Texas, and this will be the fourth one. Um,
Oh,
I'm not quite sure on the stats, but I know that we need them. And I know that I feel honored to be a part of that partnership because, again, we got to get our youth through school, through whether it's prevention or recovery or treatment. We are right there to serve
yeah.
at that high school. So I'm looking forward to that. They have a summer camp coming up June 10th, 17th, and 24th. It's like 3 weeks. So we'll be holding like a field day. So that's coming up in June. And one of the bigger months of activity is September. September's Recovery Month. So we're doing
Mm,
Planting the Seed is one of our biggest events. So that would be really exciting. It's just still more around mental health awareness and
yeah.
prevention and just celebrating, individuals that are in recovery or wanting to learn about recovery. So it'll be a lot of vendors there, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of opportunities for the community to connect to other resources. We work well with Harris County, the Harris County Sheriff's, especially in District 1, being part of their hub, puts us in a position to step in the gap, so they, like Harris County may have to intervene in a legal way, but
Yeah.
not to not to just not hear the cry or the problem. They connect the community that they're working
Yeah.
with those resources, that can probably help that family
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and keep from going to jail and all
Okay.
that kind of stuff. So yeah, so there's a lot of great partnerships that are coming on. Um, there's a
Okay.
lot of great events happening. So, and we're sending out our calendar, so we'll make sure you get it.
Okay, make sure. Okay. And how could the people get involved? If it's anybody that's just individual people that do have like organizations, how could they get involved?
Well, you can go to our website, and that's wellnessandrecovery.org. That's
Okay.
wellnessandrecovery.org. And we are building that to, definitely adding our youth piece to that, just so you can look at the calendar and see. And it doesn't cost anything to get support.
Okay.
There are, just it's a drop-in center. You can drop in, you can come by and just, get a tour, see what's there, talk to someone. There's plenty to do. So, if they want to be active, and I've been asking, what are people doing for the summer? How can we
Yeah.
support? How can we help? So that's also a way to make sure the resources from this grant opportunity gets in the right hands
Yeah.
of the people that need support. Um, so yeah, just call, just go to the website. If you need naloxone for overdose prevention, naloxone, which some people know as Narcan, to help with reversing overdose.
Yeah.
Well, we're Region 6 distributor of naloxone. So, even if you go on a website and you just want to protect your family, have some in the medicine cabinet, it may not be you, but it may be your youth
Yeah.
friends or someone,
Anybody.
yeah, your neighbor. I carry Narcan, so you can get involved in many different ways. A lot of times we're going to the movies, out to eat, to the beach. We go on retreats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just like, hey, if you want to come on, let's go.
on.
That's it.
Tag along.
Yeah.
I know that's right. I
Okay.
know that's right. Okay, so that's all the questions. Let's do a little game.
Okay.
Okay, so this is called This or That.
Okay.
What do you think is the most impactful?
Mm.
Okay. So you get to choose one answer only.
Okay.
So first one, prevention or intervention?
Prevention.
Why?
Stop it before it starts.
Okay.
Mhm.
Leader or mentor?
Mentor.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird
Hey,
and
early
night owl,
bird get
but
their
early
morning
bird.
worm. Phone calls or text message?
Phone calls.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yeah, we was just talking about that. Planning or freestyle?
Planning. But I'm freestyling this.
Hey, you doing good though.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Book or movie?
A book.
Okay. City life or a country life?
City life.
Why?
Well, there's just more to do, and I guess that's because I've tried both, but I think there's just more to do and more people to help. So.
Okay. I
Uh-huh.
ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Okay, well, that is the end of
Oh,
this
wow.
interview. I did have a good time
No, thank
listening
you.
to everything that you had to say, hearing a little of your story, learning a little more
Sure.
about you and the organization that you have. So, thank you for even coming on,
Thank you for
for
having
even
me.
talking.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. And that is again, y'all. This is Ms. Dorothy West, the executive director of the organization Center of Recovery and Wellness Resources, okay? The organization that has just been providing life-changing support to help individuals with mental health challenges, substance use, all over Houston, all over the world, anywhere. If y'all need help, come to the center. She gonna help y'all
That's right.
amongst the people that she's working with on her team. Don't forget.
Thank you.